This lighting is going to continue to vex me, isn't it? Hi everyone, it's Joshua. I'm back with another recipe today. The kind of food I usually like to cook is something that I can put together really quickly, doesn't use a lot of ingredients, doesn't take up a lot of my time. I really like the concept of 5-ingredient recipes, but most of the ones that I see do things that I consider cheating. The recipe that I'm going to do today really only uses 5 ingredients, and it's really simple to put together. We have to do a little bit of organization just at the start, but most of this recipe comes together pretty quickly, and you'll spend more time with it cooking in the oven than anything else. I'm just going to get the oven going. This goes on 200 degrees fan force, about 220 without. We're just gonna get out a baking sheet. So the star of this recipe is something that you can get from the freezer section of your grocery store. Puff pastry. This is gonna need some time to defrost. So I'm just gonna take out 2 sheets. And just be careful when you're doing this because you can easily snap the pastry in half. So besides the puff pastry, the other 4 ingredients we need are tomato paste, garlic, red onion, and chicken breast. I don't count things like salt and pepper or olive oil as ingredients. I think those are safe to cheat on. And who knows, maybe the puff pastry is a cheat too. I'm gonna get prepped on the garlic and onions first. Get out my trusty garbage bowl. So we're gonna cut this onion in half and then peel off the skin. And this onion is just gonna get sliced thinly. Half of this is going to get put aside. I'm just putting that in the fridge for now. And this half can sit here while we do the garlic. I've got about 5 cloves of garlic here, but you can use as much as you like. Flat of the knife, push down. That helps you peel the garlic. So the garlic is going to get minced. And this is going to live on the side for a second. Fresh chopping board, and we're going to get started on the chicken. Now I'm using chicken breast today. I would prefer to do this with thighs. I think it would taste better with thighs. The grocery store did not have thighs. I don't know how you run out of thighs. How do you run out of thighs? I'm just going to be using 2 breasts today. I definitely should have taken the chicken out of the packaging with my left hand. So once the chicken is ready, it's going to go into a bowl. For now, I'm gonna throw in the onion and the garlic, and we're just gonna butterfly the breasts. To do that, you start by cutting a slit down the middle of the breast, and then you sort of unfold it and add a little bit more of a slit as you go. This just gives you a slightly flatter piece to work with. Otherwise, the top part of the breast is thicker. I'm gonna move this out of the way. You wanna get 2 pieces of baking paper. And while we're here, I'm going to take a third for when the puff pastry is ready to go into the oven. So you're going to take the chicken breast, lay it on the sheet, lay a sheet on top, and then it's time to take out your frustrations. I like to think about, I don't know, income inequality, police reform, things like that. And then you got a nice flat piece to play with. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half. And then that's gonna go in with the onion and garlic. And repeat this with the second chicken breast. You want these to be even pieces. This is maybe a centimeter thick. In that goes. The baking paper has served its useful purpose. In with the chicken, I want about a tablespoon of tomato paste, but leave this out because we're gonna need it again in a moment. Salt, pepper, and then a little bit of olive oil. So this is just going to get cut in half. And then on both halves, I'm going to spread out the tomato paste. And then give the chicken, onions, and garlic all a nice mix. Make sure that everything's coated together. All right, now it's the assembly part. You're gonna put the 2 breast halves together. Just lay it out flat. Put some of the onion on. And then always wash your hands after handling raw meat. And then we take the other half. And we're just gonna lay that on top. Try to line it up. While you're lining the pastry together, push down on the edges. Take a fork, and then just crimp the edges. Pushing down so that both layers of the pastry stick together. And then poke some holes in the top just so that the pastry will vent and not pop in the oven. Take a little bit of olive oil. And we're just going to paint the top of the pastry with this. If you had a pastry brush, you could use that, but a paper towel works fine. Just make sure the top is fully coated in oil. And then you want to maneuver the pastry onto that lined baking sheet. This part is always fiddly, but there is honestly no delicate way to do this. This is just going to get some salt and pepper on top. Then this just goes into the oven. Put that on the middle rack, and it's going to live there for 30 minutes or so. Check it to make sure that the top isn't burning, but otherwise you can just leave it alone. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Well, so we got a little bit of leakage, but that's all right. That's pretty good. So I know you're thinking, what about that other half of the red onion? So I'm going to serve this with a side salad of mixed greens, red onion, olive oil, and balsamic vinaigrette. Let's get this out of the oven. Oh, look at how nice that is. So a trick with onions, if you find they're unpleasant to eat raw, just soak them in some cold water for 5 minutes. That takes the harshness off of the onions and makes them really, really nice to eat. In the meantime, I'm going to get the rest of the salad together. This just goes on the plate. Oh, the moment of truth. That crunch. Are we ready to see if everything's cooked properly? Wonderful. Salad on the side. And beautiful. Molto bene. Puff pastry is amazing. I can't take credit for that. Chicken's perfectly cooked. I still would use thighs. You would not believe that there are only 5 things involved in this recipe. There you go. A simple weeknight meal Only 5 ingredients. It takes longer to cook it in the oven than it does assemble. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. The support really helps me build my channel. Please share your thoughts, the things that you enjoy, give me ideas for recipes, things you want to see me cook. Alright, see you next week. I'm gonna go have dinner.